11,629 views over 86 countries with 597 qubits. This is the Readout, episode 4, ending 15th of June 2026. I am your host Simon for the Readout, powered by Informaq, which is a quantum technology, a bite-size content hub brought to you by SpinSphere. So, getting right into it, the top reads of the week. In the research column, we have a paper by Jian, Sheng, Wang from a company called Year LLC. That sounds like a pretty cool company name. He's looking into ZKP-Native blockchain with subsequent cryptographic finality. Now, if memory serves me right, ZKP is Zero Knowledge Protocol. It's been a while since I was in the blockchain space, but there is obviously some overlaps with post-quantum cryptography and its effects on blockchain, and there is quite a little bit of momentum in the blockchain space, adding PQC and looking at other applications of quantum technology and quantum algorithms and whatnot in the area. Coming at number 2 for research, we have 3-bit Q state preparation, entanglement, classification, and explicit circuits. This is out of Kangwon National University. I think Kangwon is a Korean university. On the news front, Inflection deployed some neutral atom hardware up to the International Space Station. So there's some more advancements of quantum tech related scientific experiments being done on the International Space Station. And on the topic of space deployment of quantum technology, it's not this one here, but I believe I read somewhere that CLSQ were about to launch some satellites for quantum key distribution and quantum random number generation. This article seems to be talking about drones, but yeah, they seem to be also deploying some stuff to space. So yeah, there's quantum tech is leaving the orbit, leaving the atmosphere. I think CLSQ may already have 20 odd satellites in space, or in orbit rather, and they were expanding. I can't remember exactly how many. Maybe it was going to be another 40 or 60 over the coming months and years. Coming in at number 2 with 34 views in the news column is a quantum computing report, just a recent roundup. Quantum computing report is one of the most popular reads for all things quantum computing, along with Quantum Insider and Quantum Zeitgeist. On the patents front, from NEC, Japanese company, NEC Corporation, quantum communication reception device with noise-based key compression and error reconciliation was a patent that was... I just realized this doesn't actually say whether it was a granted or an applied patent. Informaq does have the ability to know whether the patent was just applied or whether it had actually been granted, so that would be helpful information to have here on the Readout. Note to future self for improving the Readout. Number 2, we have quantum computing enhanced molecular design with energy-based deep learning. This is coming out of Cornell University there. Alrighty. Moving on down to the topical landscape. What have we got here? Quantum error correction at 53 qubits and fault tolerance at 11 with QLDPC were top in the hashtag landscape this week. And then we had simulation algorithms, hash quantum simulation, 49 mentions, and quantum algorithms coming in at second, 39. As a pair, there were 8 qubits tied to both of those. So similar to last week, quite a lot of research and news in the quantum error and simulation front. Moving down to the bylines, nothing much different there. ArcSiV is at the top, as that's where most of our research is coming from. And a lot of our news coming in from Quantum Zeitgeist, Quantum Computing Report, as we just saw before, and the Quantum Journal. On the top bylines, as we realised last week, Muhammad Abdul Karim is I believe, it wasn't IonQ, it was something like you did with IonQ. He's popping up quite a lot. And then we have Ivy Delaney coming in at number 2 this week, along with Rusty Flint at number 3. I will not read out every single name and every single article because this is just the readout. It's just a summary of some of the stats that we're getting out of Informaq. And this is the 4th episode. Haven't had any comments or feedback yet. I do already have some ideas for, I think, smoothing out and improving exactly what it is I'm reading out and delivering, trying to make this worthwhile, in addition to the actual automated generations of our daily Q-Quip and Q-Dive podcasts. Q-Quips are 4 to 5 minutes long, just a quick summary of the latest research and news and patents from the last 24 hours. Q-Dive will dive into about 20 minutes worth of, could be anywhere from 15 to 25 papers and news. But coming back to the readout, the global pulse for the week. What have we got here? Okay, so we were covering this week was 86 countries. If I remember last week it was about 76, so we've had more engagement this week internationally. We're at 11,629 clicks, which is up by about 2,500. I think the week before we were at 10,000, we went down to 9,000. Now we're up to just over 11,500. So that's good. People out there actually engaging with some of our links in our summaries. So I hope we are delivering some value in our summaries and our bite-sized insights. As usual, United States is coming in at number 1 with 8,016 views. The top article viewed there was IBM Quantum Advances Fault-Tolerant Architectures with Concatenated QLDPC Codes in situ and Magic State Factories. I've actually got a feeling this was the same as last week. So it could be quite a popular article that we're seeing there. And coming in at number 2, Q1, Q2, 2026 Quantum Computing Roundup. IPOs, error correction breakthroughs, and $10 billion plus government commitment. Well, yeah, there's obviously a lot. Just over the past 2 or 3 months, we've had about three quantum computing related companies go IPO. Obviously SpaceX, not quantum tech specifically, but they were the world's biggest IPO ever last Friday. But we've had Horizon Computing, Horizon Quantum. We've had, I think, Inflection in the past 3 months, and Quantinum. They were the most recent one. It's been interesting watching the markets there. Continuing on with the global pulse, Singapore is 869 views. The most popular report there was from the same as from the news article up, the news column up above, the Quantum Computing Report recent news roundup. And Singaporeans have also found interest in House Committee passes National Quantum Initiative reauthorization. That is an article I haven't read, so I can't actually say what country or what committee that is in particular. Then we have France. The French have been interested in SLAC, turntable O-band single photon sources on silicon with quantum dot circular Bragg gratings. That seems to be the news that's been popular in France this week. It's actually nice to see that the French language has been used, because quite often I've found that even if they are in other countries, the language of engagement has been predominantly English. So it's nice to actually see some of the translated versions of our articles being consumed. And then Germany, we have 504 views in totals. The most popular, most read article from Germany this week was classical oracle separations between QMA and QCMA with perfect completeness. And we have China, Finland, Russia, Antigua and Barbuda. Oh, that's an interesting one. Although Antigua and Barbuda have been, well, there are no links. Languages Japanese, 153 views. I think I need to look into that. Likewise, I have said before, Informaq still is in beta. We are still ironing out the bugs here and there and finding out what works best. But it's all part and parcel of the fun of reading out the readout while we go. Alright, and lastly, what have we got? We've got the cross-pollinators, the pairing of the hashtags. And what has my script got to say on that this week? Quantum computing and quantum error correction, 9 qubits, the strongest pair, and a signal that error correction has moved to the center of the general compute coverage, not just error correction literature. The next strongest pair would be quantum algorithms and quantum simulation. 8 qubits, algorithms and simulation research is increasingly one conversion. Oh, this is interesting. Quantum metrology and quantum sensing. 8 qubits with both these hash bytes. With both these hashtags. Precision measurement and sensing tightly coupled, consistent with hardware maturing towards applied use. So there we have it. That is the readout ending June 15th, 2026. I'm your host Simon. The stats and the articles that were brought to you today are powered by Informaq. It's a website available at informaq.spinsphere.xyz. We aggregate preprint papers from ArXiv and news from various company blogs and news sources around the world, along with access to the United States Patents Office. And we try and access, analyze, summarize, and translate all that we can find into public and private channels. With those private channels, you can select what content or what topics you're interested in, so you can get a personal curated list of links that are easiest for you to digest. I personally find the personal podcast, that's usually about 15 minutes long. I listen to that while I'm running. It allows me to catch up on the day's highlights. For me at the moment, I'm putting a lot of effort into the PQC side of things and also the learning ecosystem of quantum computing. There's obviously a lot out there at the moment, and there has been a lot of development over the past 10 years, but that's an area that I'm looking at. And I may talk about that a little bit more at some point on this podcast, or maybe even add some features to Informaq, but that's a little bit early. I'm not promising anything. All I know is that for the development of the quantum computing or the quantum tech space to go forward, not only do we need a workforce, but in order to have a workforce, we need a good learning and education ecosystem. And there's a lot out there, and it's EdTech is something that's quite dear to my heart. Well, before I got into quantum, I was doing EdTech for quite a while. So yeah, bringing together technology and education is a little passion of mine. So I'm going to see how I can find some synergy there and see what I can contribute. Anyway, that's us. It's me, Simon, the host for the Readout, signing off. Thank you for your time. Meanwhile, stay informed on quantum with Informaq.